Hello and welcome to the Grand Prairie ISD 2016 LEGO competition season. This year we will have 3 competitions just like we did last year. The first one being a modified LEGO table, the second one being a parking lot activity, and then the third one being a can moving cans outside of a circle. So we're going to quickly go over each one of these, how they are to be set up, as well as where points are deducted and gained. This is the modified LEGO table. As we go through this, you'll see that it is set up basically the same, except we are actually getting rid of anything that is not directly related to what the tasks are, the missions that you're supposed to be doing. So we have the truck set up there, and you'll notice that the little engine place is gone. The sorter is still here and intact, but we have taken out the trays. The little bag will actually be there as well. The compost is still there and good to go. The trash bin is gone, as well as the little methane things. And then you have the east transfer area where we have the little transfers are gone as well. And you saw that there was the truck. We are not going to be using the family items, and so they're going to be gone. And then you have the actual building that you are knocking over. So the first thing is knock over the building, and you get 4 points for every piece that you were able to bring back to safety, which would give you a total of 48 points, but if you get all 12 of them, you'll get the extra 2. Next one, you have the compost. In the compost, you hit the button, that's 50 points. And then you get another 50 points for when that compost comes out, if you're able to take it and bring it back into safety as well. On the next item, you have the truck. The truck is there. You get 50 points for folding it in half. You get another 50 for putting it inside the east transfer area. They have animals. Currently, I don't know where the other 2 animals are, but if you get the animals inside circles and the people inside the sorter area, you'll get 25 points per person and per animal, up to 50 each, so just 2 of each. And the truck, same as it is, you push it backwards, you try to get to the yellow bin to land on top of the truck, that is 50, and if the yellow bin is completely east of the black line there, you'll get the other 50. This is a look at the table scoring rubric. There's yes and no boxes, as well as some numbers, including with the animals and the people. See how many you got and how many points you get for each. It's pretty self-explanatory. There might be one switch in here talking about the number of beams that are brought back into the safety. So you get the 4 points per each, and then plus a 2-point bonus for all of them. And then finally you have your deductions for each time you have to touch the robot outside of safety. This contest is called Park It on a Shelf. It has the map from last year with lines, as well as the 4 little walls made by bricks that are 2 studs by 32s long. At the end of the line there is a can. In the second parking space there is a 2x4 that is set up on its side against the wall. In this case, I have it set up on my actual table, but at the competition, it will most likely just be a 2x4 on the floor. You set your robot here inside of the mat with the back end of it to the black line. It'll go down the mat from that spot there, either following the line or just going straight towards the can. The idea is to grab the can somehow, take that can and place it into parking space 2 for 50 points if it's inside that boundary. You get the 50 points for being in the parking space, but an extra 200 for getting it upright on top of the shelf. Finally, you get points for parking it in parking space 1. In order to get those points, you must actually have your robot parked within 3 inches of the wall, meaning that anywhere between where that black line ends and the wall is counted as 3 inches. So even if the wire is in that area, you getting those points. And that's how you score in this activity. You get deductions by coming off the mat. If anything actually touches the floor outside the mat, you'll get deductions, as well as if you touch the wall, the little Lego walls, those are also going to be counted off. However, you can touch the 2x4 and you will still get your 50 points by having the can there, even if it's sideways. If the can happens to fall over while you're working at the end, the judge will reset it for you. And so here's the scoring rubric for park it on the shelf, and you'll see that if you actually get the can, you get 50 points. If you move the can inside the parking space, you get 50 points. If you put it on the shelf, it's 50 points, and then you get an extra 200 points for it being up by the completion. And then parking, you get 150. And in this case, you have a time deduction for however many seconds it takes, as well as touch deductions and line deductions for going over the lines. And so those all be added up, and you get your total of points at the end. This is called the blue cans out, red can in. There are 4 cans set up at the cardinal positions of the mat. So we have north, south, east, and west. The north will be designated. You will always set your robot facing the north. The cans, there are 3 blue cans and 1 red can, will be placed at those cardinal positions, but you do not know exactly where the red can will appear. And so in this case right now it is to the east, but it could be to the north, south, or the west at the competition. The goal is to put those blue cans outside of the black line without touching the black line, and then grabbing the red can and bringing it back so that your robot is covering the center X. As long as it's covered, you'll get all the points there, and as long as your can is in contact or in possession of the robot, that's how that's going to work. And so this is just basically showing another variation. Once again, the robot is facing towards the north section of the mat. However, now you see the red can is behind it, so you'd have to make an adjustment to make sure that you're pushing out the blue cans only and grabbing the red can. Touching the line is a deduction, and so you want to make sure that you don't actually touch the line. You can go over it with an attachment or something, but don't let it touch the actual floor. You must have the can completely outside of the line. If it falls over and happens to roll back in after you push it all the way out, that's okay. We'll still count it as being pushed out, but if it never actually leaves the black line, that doesn't. And our last scoring sheet, same way as the other ones, you get points for each blue can pushed outside, 100 points for the red can being inside the circle and in contact with the robot, and then if you still have contact and that is your chassis is covering the X, you get those points. And then on says just as in the other one, you get the time deductions as well as deductions for touching or going over the line to give you your total score. Just another look at the mats. These are in your handbook. The parking lot is 6 feet long, and I drew mine on the back of a old table mat that we used to have from a previous year. Same thing for the can. You can do this one simply on butcher paper because butcher paper is already 36 inches across, so just make sure that is an inscribed circle with about 3/4 inch black lines. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at steven.signs@gpisd.org. I'll be more than willing to help you. Also, if you have any other things such as programming or anything that you need help with the kids other than just the rules and things, feel free to email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right. Hope you all have a good time this year and good luck.